These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 7 Nightly News.
A local attorney congratulates Antigua and Barbuda as well as Grenada, saying they've dodged a bullet with their vote not to adopt the CCJ as their final appellate court. A supporter of the ruling United Workers' Party government stands in defiance against the proposed relocation of the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. The Water and Sewage Company lands a victory in court and is now able to proceed with improving water distribution in Mouton. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Friday, the 9th of November 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. A local attorney says the people of Grenada and Antigua and Barbuda have dodged a bullet by voting no to the CCJ. In a candid interview with Hot 7 TV, she says the CCJ is not the answer for the region, but rather the problem.
I would like to say hats off to the people of Grenada and the people of Antigua and Barbuda. You surely did dodge a bullet right there.
Those were the words of St. Lucian attorney Natalie Dabrio. Her comments in a previous interview with Hot 7 in late October sparked regional debate after being uploaded to our Facebook page. Ahead of the vote in Grenada and Antigua and Barbuda, the story had over 22,000 views and hundreds of shares, with Dabrio's comments being used as an argument by many to convince the masses to say no to the CCJ. In a national referendum on Tuesday in both Grenada and Antigua and Barbuda, citizens voted to reject efforts to replace the London-based Privy Council as their country's highest court. Dabrio is certain they made the right decision. She says her concerns are based on the premise that the judiciary should be kept out of the hands of Caribbean governments.
I would like to live a long and fruitful life by the grace of God, and I hope never to see St. Lucia ever go to the Caribbean Court of Justice as the final appellate court. My perspective is that if our leaders have failed us at every level, there is no justification for putting everything into their hands. And all that's left out of the hands of our leaders, who are failed leaders in my opinion, is the judicial system. And once they have the judicial system, the legislative system, and the executive arm of government in their hands, the people have nothing. But we need to be somewhere where there is nobody who went to UWI with anybody else, nobody who went to the bar with anybody else, nobody who went to primary school with anybody else. The people that we cannot reach and go to them and influence their minds. Not that I'm saying that anybody is influenced, because I have to be very careful what I say, but I am satisfied that the judicial system needs to stay out of the hands of the leadership in the Caribbean.
The attorney clarifies that her argument is not that the London-based Privy Council is the answer for the region, but she is resolute that neither is the CCJ.
I have no problem with leaving the Privy Council. My problem is to go to the CCJ. That is my problem. It is like a nemesis for the people of this region. And when I speak of the people, I don't speak of the political directorate. I don't speak of the judges, because I don't think the judges have any clue about what's going on the ground and the situation of the people of our region. I'm speaking about the masses in this region. I don't have the solution, but I am saying the CCJ is the problem, not the solution.
Online, Dabrio was criticized by some for quote-unquote colonial thinking and a lack of confidence in regional jurists. She welcomes the debate.
I am very encouraged by the discussions that are taking place on social media about this issue, and I think that is in itself a democratic practice and exercise. And those who have opposing views, I respect these opposing views, and I'm simply saying that what we need to do is put the issue to the people, like Antigua and Grenada did, and let the people decide whether they want to go to the Caribbean Court of Justice. On the question of whether we should be with the Privy Council and whether it in itself is an offense to our own independence, I think that we have not acquired full real independence, and getting the Privy Council out of our judicial equation will not help us to become an independent region.
Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and Guyana are the only CARICOM countries that have so far made the Caribbean Court of Justice their final court.
Police have confirmed a United States national on vacation in St. Lucia died Thursday afternoon after a vehicle he was driving plunged over a precipice at Ancillary. Law enforcement officials have identified the deceased as Ruben Turner. According to information, Turner and 3 other visitors were on board a rented Suzuki. The other occupants of the vehicle sustained injuries in the accident, which occurred near Tikai Village about 4:15 p.m. The injured were transported to Victoria Hospital and are said to be in stable condition. A former student of the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School is putting education over politics as she stands against the political party which she supports to condemn the tearing down of the school. Meanwhile, the school's former principal says such a move would be a travesty. Rochelle Gonzalez has more in this report.
A former student of the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School is speaking out against the news that the Prime Minister is considering actions to demolish and relocate the 44-year-old learning establishment, which is currently located along the Castries-Grosley Highway in Shock. Ronelle Biscombe, who is a teacher by profession, said she is a product of the CCSS, and so the idea that others might miss out on the chance to have the opportunities that she did is one which she simply cannot stand for.
The idea that my school will not be around for future generations is not palatable to me, first of all. And secondly, the idea that something like this could happen and the talk is already going around that it almost seems like a done deal, but no consultation has been held, no options have been discussed. And Castries Comprehensive has been around for 44 years, 45 years come next year. And that is a lot to take away from former students. It's a lot to take away from former teachers. There's also a lot to take away from future students and teachers of the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. I am myself and other alumni members, we are not willing to accept that our school can just disappear from the pages of history that simply.
The former student is a well-known supporter of the United Workers' Party. However, in a social media post, she condemned the notion and said that this is where she draws the line and will not support the Prime Minister's decision to go ahead with such plans. Biscombe said while she is a UWP supporter, she believes that once a party forms a government, they are the administration of all St. Lucians, which means that everyone has the right to agree or disagree with the government's decisions, as well as to hold them accountable for their bad judgments.
While I've been pretty vocal about my connection to the United Workers' Party, and I will not change that, I refuse to accept that because it is the party that I supported in the general election, I should not speak against something that affects me. When I got to Castries Comprehensive, a school that is the alma mater of my uncle as well, and several members of my family, and it was first of all a familial thing for me to go to Castries Comprehensive. Secondly, at the time I attended Castries Comprehensive, the vice principal lived right next door to me, and that lady took me to school every day, took me back home every day, and I met people at Castries Comprehensive, lifelong friends. I met teachers who a profound impact on me to the point that today I am a teacher because of some of these teachers who made such an impression on my life, and that's the kind of impression I'm hoping to leave with some of my students. The memories that I made walking from class to class, shouting across the field, defying teachers, but I have to say it, defying teachers and making those little plans, beating school out the back gates, all of these things. So sometimes we don't want to talk about it, but these are the things that make our school days. And I did all of these things at Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. It's my school, it's my home, it's my legacy, and it cannot disappear.
Hot 7 News also spoke to the school's immediate past principal, Jeremy Joseph, who said the school was a gift to St. Lucians from Canada. And with the tremendous sentimental value that the school holds for the generations of students who have passed through, it would be a bad idea.
I think the authorities should do whatever they can to bring the school up to par in terms of additional classroom space, in terms of giving the school a facelift in areas where, it is defaced and moss and what have you. And in terms of keeping the school afloat, because the school is a comprehensive, this is the first comprehensive school in the island, And it has, as I said, tremendous value, and the late John Compton was proud of that school. So demolishing the school is totally out of the question for me as a past principal.
Biscom said herself and fellow CCSS alumni will mount a protest against wholesale action that is autocratic in a bid to ensure that whatever happens with the school, everyone is on board and has a say in the final decision. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. Junior Achievers is looking forward to sending off the winning participants of the Company of the Year to represent St. Lucia in Lima, Peru. Hot 7 News got a chance to sit with an executive director of the Junior Achievement Program who expressed the important role that volunteers play in keeping the organization thriving. Solange Alfred reports.
As the non-profit organization Junior Achievement gears up to facilitate the winners of Company of the Year to Lima, Peru, Hot 7 News met up with Executive Director of the Junior Achievement Program, Agnella Joseph, to understand how the organization meets its mandate and assists the winners in moving to the next round of competition. Joseph spoke candidly to our cameras, letting Hot 7 News know that a key mechanism in ensuring that all the wheels turn within the organization is the support received by volunteers.
We depend solely on the support of volunteers, and right about now I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our many teachers and volunteers who have given themselves selflessly in ensuring that our young persons receive that junior achievement experience.
One significant program enacted by Junior Achievement is the Company Program, where participating schools see a business through from capitalization to liquidation. The winners of the Company of the Year, Babono Secondary School, now have the opportunity to participate in the Regional Company Program in Lima, Peru, slated for the 26th to the 28th November 2018.
We would love to bring everybody, okay, because I know that our students have worked hard, our teachers have worked hard, and it can be disappointing that everybody, we cannot bring everybody. There is no way we can bring everybody because it's not just us participating, it's not just St. Lucia participating. We've got over 41 countries who have submitted reports, and we have 21 companies being represented at that event. So that's almost 400 people. Okay, so we cannot, it can be disappointing to the teachers that everybody cannot go, but you need to understand that it's not an event that JA St. Lucia has planned. We are part of this, and we follow the guidelines that is being shared with us.
The Babono Secondary School won the Company of the Year title for the second consecutive year with their product, Natural Touch. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
In a movement to embrace the St. Lucian diaspora, the government of St. Lucia has appointed a new ambassador responsible for diaspora affairs. Dr. Joycelyn Clark Fletcher will lead the charge to bring St. Lucians together in a holistic way, enhancing efforts of the government to forge links with nationals overseas. Working within the Office of Diaspora Affairs, the role of the ambassador will be to communicate with non-resident St. Lucians in different countries and to assist them in coming home, creating linkages for investment, providing support or avenues for giving back. Dr. Fletcher worked previously for the government of Montserrat as Chief Human Resources Manager and also worked for many years as a lecturer of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and the University of the West Indies. A human resource management specialist, her cadre of work also includes several posts with CARICOM in Georgetown, Guyana. Plans moving forward in government's efforts targeting the diaspora include actively engaging St. Lucians overseas and including them in matters of national development, enhancing the existing package of measures designed to facilitate the process and encourage the return of national residents overseas. This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Still to come, Wasco scores a victory in the High Court, government pumps $20 million into housing and local business development, and Sandals delivers a cooling effect at the RC Boys School with a welcome donation. Stay with us.